What's happening, fellas? Feast your eyes on the most badass American superbikes ever to race the streets of the United States. This here is the HH1190, aka the Hammerhead. That's the Street Fighter version, which Eric Buell originally called that a super fighter. Why? Well, it's the same exact transmission, engine, frame, and suspension as this AMA podium winning superbike racer. It's wrapped up in a Street Fighter package, but it was the first time anybody had ever put the full performance of a superbike into a Street Fighter package. It has a different body, different bars, much more comfortable seating position. This one's loaded with every upgrade you can get from Buell. These are fresh, new 2024s, hot off the press. October 2024 build dates. Full carbon fiber body on this one here. Both of them have full carbon fiber bodies. Guys, 185 horsepower, 6-speed, fuel injected, liquid cooled, 42 degree Helicon V-twin engine putting out 185 horsepower and 102 foot-pound of torque, and it weighs 419 pounds with the stock exhaust, which we have. Well, this one over here is the stock exhaust. If you take a look, this one here sold. Junior sold 3 of these last week. This one sold and this one sold. We have 3 left of the brand new 2024 HH1190s, the Hammerheads. We have the orange one, the Grabber Orange. That's one of one in the whole United States of America. They only made 40 of these red, white, and blue versions. This one's sold. That's the last one we have for 24. And we have one black in red, full carbon fiber version over here. And the reason I brought you over here was to show you the exhaust. See the stock exhaust, it's much larger, a lot quieter. They sound wicked with the exhaust on it. There's 2 versions of the exhaust. There's this race exhaust, which is for racing, and it's much louder. This is the factory upgrade slip fit unit right here, which is street legal. So both of these are loaded with all the upgrades you can get. This one has an embroidered saddle, the lower pegs, the higher adventure bars, the slip fit exhaust, the quick shift clutch, so you don't have to use the clutch to shift, the steering dampener. Every option you can get from the factory is on both of these motorcycles. If you're thinking of getting one, our pricing is, we're the #1 Buell dealer in the United States of America. My son Kenny Jr. sold 3 this week. Junior, tell them what the scoop is.
Yeah, you call in, and I've been doing the sales here for the family business for a decade. So yeah, you got one contact for your document package for shipping to your door. You can call my cell phone 860-471-0192, and we'll get you dialed in. If you need financing, we can take care of you. We take trade-ins. So look at our reviews. We'll make sure that you have a good experience and get the lowest nationwide price on a 2024 Buell.
This Street Fighter is the last 2024 we have in stock. It's ready to go today. In fact, we can sell you this one loaded with all the upgrades at that. Well, we're not even supposed. We don't even want to tell you what the price is because they're below minimum advertised pricing. We give you the best price. That's how we became the #1 dealer for Buell, Stark, and Gas. Not just the price, but it's a service before, during, and after the sale. When he said check our reviews, he meant on eBay. We sold over 10,000 items on eBay with 100% positive feedback. Most of those classic motorcycles. We are on the 2nd floor of the New England Motorcycle Museum. It's a 4-story building full of hundreds of motorcycles, and there's quite a few vintage bikes on the floor above here that we sold just this month. So if we can make people happy buying vintage bikes, we certainly can make you happy buying a brand new one. The bikes pretty much do it for you.
The Buell product has a 12-month unlimited mileage warranty. I wanted to show you guys the option on the Street Fighter. I don't know if you mentioned this, but it has the adventure bars, they call it, in the lower control blackout kit. So the pegs, as option, drops the pegs half an inch and also raises the bars about 3 inches. So what that does is it opens up the riding position. So this is comparable to any modern standard upright riding position sport bike, but it's a super bike at heart. It's the same package as the Hammerhead, just in an upright riding position. So if you're a guy that likes to do 1,000 miles in a day, do an iron butt rally, or like literally ride cross country, but you want the super bike performance, if you're a guy that has back issues or what have you, this is a much more open riding position, a lot more upright than a standard one, while still having all of the performance, no sacrifice.
Last summer, I had a demo one of these, and I was amazed at how easily these things wheelie. The thing about this engine, it's 185 horsepower. Yeah, the R1 might have 185 horsepower, or the Hayabusa might have similar horsepower, but the torque on this thing, this Peloton 72-degree V-twin, is ridiculous. From 3,000 RPM to 10,500 RPM, it has 80% of the torque, which means it has over 80 foot-pound of torque just over idle. So you roll, that means you roll out of the stop sign, you just roll the throttle on, and the front end comes up. It's so light. It has superbike suspension, world-class 8-piston caliper with a inverted ZTL2 15.4-inch rotor with a super lightweight aluminum wheel. That wheel can be lightweight because the way this brake is designed, there's no torsional stress on the hub, so the spokes can be much smaller and much lighter. Eric Buell is 76 years old now. He's retired, but he is a AMA Hall of Fame member. He's also been voted Motorcyclist of the Year, and he developed this thing called the Trilogy of Technology. 3 major things he wanted with his Buell motorcycles. One, he wanted them to have a super stiff frame. Look at the size of this frame here, guys. This is a massive extruded aluminum frame, which not only works as a frame, but it also houses the fuel tank. The fuel tank is inside of each one of these frame rails, and it's, if you look at from the steering head to the axle, it's a straight line. The ultimate way to design a motorcycle. So, number 1 was super stiff frame. Number 2 was low unsprung weight. And if you look at that wheel, it's one of the lightest, it's about 7 pounds lighter than the competition's wheel and brake setup. So much less unsprung weight on the front and the rear wheel, lightweight aluminum wheels. And also the centralization of mass, that was number 3 technology. And the reason why you want the exhaust under the engine and everything in nice and tight is, think about it, if you're carrying a 50-pound medicine ball and you're trying to run that like an obstacle course, and you got that ball and you can move quickly, you can turn quickly, now you got a 50-pound aluminum ladder that's 10 feet long. Or you know, think about how Harleys, how they put the exhaust pipe way out in the back because it looks cool, but it handles like shit because the centralization of mass. The closer, you ever seen a figure skater when their arms are out and they're spinning slower, and as they go and their arms are closer, they start spinning faster and faster? It's easier for an item to turn if the centralization of mass is tighter. That's why the ballerinas, skaters put their arms in close when they're spinning around. So centralization of mass is key in how a motorcycle handles, how it responds, how it performs. That's why it's so key. In a stiff frame, hey, you don't want your bike wobbling at 186 miles per hour. You don't want your frame wobbling, trust me. You want something rock solid. The Harley Davidson Dynas, Christy was on the back, we were doing 115 miles an hour, we went to a speed wobble, I thought we were gonna die. I sold that bike, and you know, they just some of the engineering on I don't want to throw any minute. I love Harleys. I have a brand new CVO road bike too. I have an old man's bike too, but having a stiff frame is key. Centralization of mass is key, and the reason why you want low unsprung weight is thinking about it. When you're on a perfectly smooth racetrack, maybe it's not as big of a deal, but when you're in a pothole-filled road like the ones we have here in New England, if you have an extra 7 pounds down here and your unsprung weight is anything that's below the fork. This is all unsprung weight. Everything above here is sprung. So when you hit a rock or you hit a pothole or you hit a bump in the road, if you've got 10 pounds more weight that's flying up, it causes a whole bike to react a lot more. Less unsprung weight makes it much easier for the tire to stay in contact with the road, which means it's going to handle better. So there was a reason he was an AMA Hall of Fame engineer. And the thing is, with Eric, the guy who designed these bikes, he was an AMA pro road racer. He podiumed many pro races, and he would stay on the lead lap with guys like Kenny Roberts and Wayne Rainey, and the best guys in his generation racing on factory bikes, Yamaha TZ750. So he was not many motorcycle engineers started their career as a pro road racer. So these bikes are designed with one thing, the rider in mind, and performance. It's all about performance on a Buell.
We talk about it a lot on the new Buell product, but like, you'll go buy a new Harley Bagger and you're looking at a 700-800 pound machine fully loaded. And you know, if you're an older guy, like, that's just terrible. Like, trying to navigate around a parking lot. Like, for me, like, we grew up racing off-road, so and a ton of our guys like race on the street. Billy went to the Ironman 5 times. We appreciate the smaller, more nimble machines. It's 429 pounds stock curb weight. So with our performance exhaust, that takes another 19 pounds off. And well, let's just say it feels like a 125 dirt bike pushing it around the showroom there. This is a phantom weight machine. While this is like technically in the heavyweight class as a 1190, but it weighs half of what a new Harley weighs. You know, super nimble.
Low unsprung weight, low motorcycle weight. With less weight on the motorcycle, that engine can perform much better. And this engine, 185 horsepower, is double what any production Harley comes with, any 700-pound Harley. They don't make one that puts over 100 horsepower to the rear wheel. So you've got twice the horsepower and half the weight. And all the torque, 100 foot-pound torque, much more torque than like a four-cylinder superbike would have. So, and they're very lightweight. So they handle amazing. They accelerate. It's ridiculous acceleration you get out of one of these. Now they've been making these. That's a 40th anniversary edition. Buell's been building motorcycles for 40 years. Over 137,000. I wish our mics actually died because we were filming all day, and this is the last video we're doing of the day. It's Friday night, 7 o'clock. But the 40 years consecutively, 137,000 machines were sold. And in the last 10 years, from 2000, I think it was 2002 to 2009, when he left Harley Davidson, 50, and even after that, 50% of the Buells that are made are exported overseas. So there's literally people all over the world that see the value in a spectacular performing V-twin motorcycle that happens to be made in America. The engine was originally designed by Rotex, not Harley Davidson. In fact, Harley Davidson sponsored the production of this engine. I heard it was over $24 million in R&D that they put into this engine. Rotex, Bombardier, Rotex, they actually make engines for Aprilia and their factory road racers too. So it's racing, developed, designed. Everything on this bike was designed to do one thing and perform beautifully on a track, which means it's going to perform beautifully on the street. And in the first versions of this 1190, which were produced by Eric, I have 3 of them over here. These had an MSRP of $44,000 for the black one. The silver one was $46,000. And the red, white, and blue one was $46,500. I have the actual original factory receipts. These came from Fast by Faraci. What's the difference between this one and this brand new production 2024? Well, the Olin suspension is one thing that sticks out, but the frame geometry, you got 90% of the performance in this production, 90% of the performance, because this has Carrillo rods and special ported heads and lots of titanium and more carbon fiber, but you've got 95% of the performance for less than half the price. You can buy this motorcycle right here for $19,900, under $20,000 for a brand new 2024 with a year warranty. Setup, what do you have to do to get this thing ready for the track? Nothing. It's ready to go to the racetrack exactly how it is out of the box. So we have the black, this is the carbon edition. We've got the orange one. We have the red, white, and blue one. And of course, we've got the Super Fighter, Street Fighter. So if you want to get one of these, give us a call. Junior will hook you right up. And we can ship this right to your door anywhere in the continental United States, pretty much anywhere in the world that we can ship to. We'll ship it to you. We do take trades and we do the financing in-house here. Here is the first version of the Helicon engine that's in the 2024. This is a 2009 model, and Danny Eslick won the AMA Supersport National Championship on this exact engine, production engine with nothing but a race tuner and a pipe on it. And it was a production class, so you had to run production, so it smoked all the Japanese motorcycles with a factory production, everything. Wheels, tires, suspension, brakes. They also won, later on, they've won multiple NHRA drag racing championships, and they've also won back-to-back the AMA Grand National Hill Climb Championship with the 1190 version. That's the engine that's in the Street Fighter over here and in the Hammerhead. This engine right here was undefeated. Stock production engine with just a race pipe and a tune was undefeated in the AMA Grand National Hill Climb. So just punch in Logan Sapala, CIPALA Hill Climb. Tons of videos of him smoking everybody on this bike right here.
Speaking of race pipes and tunes, we have a fabricator on staff that's making the Kaplan stainless race pipe and tuned by IDS Tuning. It's a catalyst setup here to shave a lot of weight and significantly improve rideability. much more torque down low, quite a bit more peak power. That's the hot setup out of the box. So order one from Kaplan. We'll get your bike spec'd with the raised pipe out of the box before it's shipped to your door.
This is the last Super Fighter we have. If you're interested in getting one of these, give Junior a call, 860-471-0192. It's ready to ship. It's loaded with every option you can get from Buell. There's nothing else you could add to it, and we can sell it to you for under MSRP. No one else can do that. We sell a lot of, we're the highest volume Buell dealer. We sold 3 last week. So we can definitely hook you up. Over here, I want to show them the history of Buell poster that my honey Christy put together for us. This is a Buell timeline starting in '83 when it was founded. The first production Buell. The first Buell dealer was in Rockville, Maryland. Down at the bottom in 2024, Kaplan Cycles is the #1 Buell dealership 40 years later. Pretty cool, both in Rockville, but this shows every single production Buell ever made. The only one that we did not put on this chart is the police special. We had to take one off, and the guys at Buell said take the police special off. But wanted to announce, if you don't already know, zooming on here, the 2025 Super Touring bike, this one right here, this one is coming out very soon, and we're taking deposits on that. Same engine, transmission, and running gear, but with the Super Touring saddlebags and a much higher bar. Also, the Super Cruiser is coming out in 2025. It looks like a Harley Davidson FXR design frame, and down the road they're going to be making dirt bikes too, including the Baja 1190. This is very similar to what Logan Sapala won the championship on. Hopefully, I'll get to swing my leg over one of those next year. We want to make a Buell hill climber. Stay tuned for that. We're working on that now. Trying to figure out. I was talking to Bill Melvin. He's the owner of Buell now. Super cool, down there dude. I rode with him at Sturgis this year, and he led one of the maybe ride the Super Cruiser all day. I don't think we did less than 100 miles an hour anywhere going. We just flew all over Sturgis. It was so much fun. But at the end of the day, we're at the Drifter Cross series, a new AMA V-twin, mostly all V-twins, mostly Harleys series, and you let one of the pro riders take the bike that I rode, the Super Touring bike I rode there, out there doing hole shots everywhere on it, and he ended up blowing the rear tire right off the bike. So we're loading it into the trailer, and Bill's like, hey, why don't you turn one of these Super Cruisers into a hill climber, a production-based hill climber? So that's something we've been thinking about doing. I've seen a guy, turn a Dyna Harley into a hill climber, so why not do it with a bike 400 pounds lighter with double the power? So lots of cool things going on. Lots of history with the Buell. We've got Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s Buell here. I've got the Cycle World color cover magazine Buell, and I think we have the largest Buell collection in the United States. If someone has a bigger one, let me know. We have 27 Buells here, including the handful of new models we have left. So we've got every model made, from the Blast to the S1 Lightning to the S2 Lightning to the S3 Touring. We've got the Ulysses. We've got the TT model. So we'll be doing videos on those. Stay tuned. But obviously, I've been obsessed with these bikes since I bought my first one back in the 90s, and I've had a Buell ever since. They're the only American super bike. No other manufacturer makes one, and there's only 3 motorcycle manufacturers left in the United States: Indian, Buell, and Harley Davidson. So let's buy American, support American. These are made in Grand Rapids, Michigan, not in Taiwan, guys. They machine the cases right in Grand Rapids. They're hand painted in Grand Rapids. They're not assembled by robots. They're assembled by men like you and women just like you and me. They have an awesome crew. I met a lot of the people. We're actually going to a school there at the Buell factory January 21st. So stay tuned for that. We'll have some killer footage for you then.
I want to add one more thing before we sign off. Guys, if you order a Buell from us on the floor here, call in. We'll get you financed 10 minutes or less. We can work the shipping into the financing. I arrange all the freight. We broker the freights for the company. All the carriers roll on, roll off, door to door, insured, enclosed, and anywhere in the country within 2 weeks. I-95 corridor from Connecticut all the way down to Florida within 7 days. So the shipping is lightning fast, no delay, and no politics on the finance. We make it as easy as humanly possible. Give us a call, we'll hook it up for you. Thank you guys for watching.
Guys, you're buying a proven package here. Since 2008, when they first came out with the 1125R Rotax Helicon engine, they won the AMA Super Sport Championship the very first year they raced it. They've been producing these for 16 years. There's a lot of them out on the road all over the world. They've been raced. This exact frame and engine configuration has been raced and podiumed in World Superbike, AMA Super Sport, and all kinds of different racing all around the world. And there's a lot of guys that have had these for 10 years, 15 years, that have done 10, 20,000 track miles, and they've raced them at the Isle of Man everywhere. So stay tuned. There'll be some more great things happening. 2025 is going to be a great year. I'm looking forward to it for sure. Handmade in Michigan by a small team of obsessed motorcyclists. There's only one of these super fighters left for us this year. This is the last one, and it's loaded with every option you could possibly get, and it's brand spanking new. So if you want one of these, you want to make 2025 a year to remember, you want a super bike wrapped up in an adventure touring style seating position, this is it, man. Wish you all a very happy and healthy new year. Hope to see you on the track. I'm going to go to Penguin Road Racing School with one of these myself, and I hope to see you guys out there. Thanks for watching. God bless America.